These are the arthroscopic picture of the video of the patient which we discussed earlier. So this you can see the stump of the torn ACL, and that is being debrided. Now we mostly debride the part which may interfere with our tunnel placement, but we don't remove whole of the ACL. That's the image of the lateral meniscus, the posterior part, and you can see that the meniscus is detached from the capsule posteriorly. That's the posterior third of the capsule, posterior third of the meniscus, and it is totally free from the capsule there. Ideally it should be attached to the capsule, and then there is a popliteal hiatus through which the popliteal passes. But here the capsule is totally detached from the portion where the popliteus hiatus begins to the root of the lateral posterior horn of the lateral meniscus. So that you can see that the meniscus is totally free on the posterior third of the lateral side. Now this is the medial compartment of the joint, and that's the medial meniscus, and we are probing the medial meniscus. Now here also you can see that there is a tear in the meniscocapsular junction in the posterior third of the meniscus, and as we are pulling the meniscus, it is coming into the joint. The displacement is more than 5 millimeter. Now the patient is young and it's a fresh injury. The meniscus is torn from the meniscocapsular junction, so this is an ideal case for a repair of the meniscus. If it was torn in the white zone, then probably I would have left it, but here you can see that it's in the red-white zone. You can see the capsule there and some red bleeding marks there. So this meniscus has got good healing potential. Now we want it to heal, so what we do, we also take a needle and we just make few punctures in the area where we are going to repair, so that there is some healing response. You can also do this biological augmentation by gently abrading that part, by abrading the capsule with the help of a shaver. Now we are as it is in the posterior part, so we'll be using this all inside device. Here we are using the Fast Fix 360 to fix the posterior part of the meniscus. Now there are various ways by which you can fix it. You can either take a vertical mattress option, or you can take a horizontal mattress option. So here we are, after adjusting the length of the needle, we have taken the first bite, which has gone through the substantial portion of the meniscus and through the posterior part of the capsule. Now once we are sure that the button has deployed behind the capsule, then we retract the needle, and then we try to find out the ideal point of the second puncture. So that will make it a mattress suture configuration. Now again, once we are assured of that, then we puncture the needle and it goes through the meniscus and through the posterior capsule. Then again the button is deployed there, and just gently rotate the device, and once you are sure that the button is deployed, and then you just pull it off. Now the beauty of this device is that there is already a knot there, so you just have to pull this suture and the meniscus will get fixed to the post capsule behind. So we are keeping the meniscus in position, and then we are gently pulling the suture. As we are pulling the suture, you will see that the meniscus is pushed behind and it is getting fixed to the capsule. Now you have to be very delicate while pulling the suture. You don't want to pull too much so that the button doesn't come out of the capsule, but you also want to make it tight. You don't want to leave it loose. Now I am probing the meniscus with my probe to see that it is now not coming into the joint. If you remember earlier that the meniscus was coming into the joint by more than 5 millimeter, but now as we pull it, we see that it is fixed to the capsule. Once you are sure of your fixation, then you cut the suture. Now we come to the lateral meniscus. Again, if we leave this part, then this meniscus will become unstable. It may come into the joint and it may cause symptoms. Now, it's very important to fix the meniscus, otherwise it may lead to abnormal stresses across the joint and arthritis. So here we gently debride the capsule behind so as to initiate a healing response. Switch off your suction so that it doesn't pull off too much of capsule. Now once you have debrided it and once you are ready with the fixation, then again I just pull the capsule to see that it is coming to the meniscus, so that there is mobility and we can pull the capsule back to the meniscus. Now once we are sure of the mobility, then we will proceed with the fixation part. Again we are using same sort of device, which is the fast fix device, all inside fast fix device. Now it has gone through the meniscus and then it goes through the capsule. Now you have to be very sure that you don't push it too much, otherwise behind this there is neurovascular structures and you may damage it. So I'll pull it away from the neurovascular structures and then I push the needle inside and deploy my button. Then once we have, so here in this case we have used two devices as the tear was quite long, so we have used two devices to fix the meniscus to the capsule. So that's the second device, which is going through the meniscus and through the capsule. Then you take out the needle and again in a horizontal mattress type of configuration, you pass it through the meniscus into the posterior capsule. On the lateral side, again be careful that you just don't plunge behind, otherwise you may damage the neurovascular. Take out the capsule, take out the needle, and just pull the sutures. Now as you pull the sutures, as there are pre-tied knots, so it will automatically fix the meniscus to the capsule. So we again keep the meniscus in position with the help of a probe and then we gently pull the threads. These are non-absorbable number 20 sutures, and as we pull it, then we see that the meniscus is getting fixed to the capsule. So now if you remember earlier, there was big gap between the capsule and the meniscus, and now the meniscus is fixed to the capsule. Again we try to pull it into the joint and it is not coming, it is fixed. So the meniscus fixation has to be done before you complete before you do your ACL. Again I am making sure that the meniscus is firmly fixed. Once I am sure of that, then we cut the sutures. Make sure that you don't cut the knots. That completes the fixation of meniscus. Then we come to the ACL, where we drill appropriate tibial and the femoral tunnel. It's a standard technique. With the help of a jig, you first create the tibial tunnel, and then on the femoral side you drill the tunnel in the center of the footprint. You pass the threads through the tibial tunnel into the femoral tunnel, with the help of which you pull the graft. There are various devices for fixation of the ACL, but here in this case we are using a endo button kind of device which gets fixed on the lateral cortex. So that's the ACL graft which is coming into the joint. It is coming through the tibial tunnel into the femoral tunnel, and once you have reached the mark, then you flip the tunnel and it gets fixed in the femoral tunnel. For the tibial tunnel, we usually use composite interference screw devices. So that's the final picture.